All right. Kitchen video number 2. We had, I think, all of these base cabinets in except for the Peninsula last time. We've got a whole lot more to talk about on the side here. And we also had this area, I think, was done. It's still done. It's waiting for a top and some plumbing and a couple of shelves. This area is pretty good. We struggled a little bit with keeping this square and everything straight. Some of these filler pieces were not the straightest, most wonderful pieces. So we had, our work cut out for us straightening everything out there, but it worked. And now I'm gonna sheet the back of this in plywood for a little extra kick protection from the boys, and hopefully let the cabinets hold up a little bit better. And then we'll do like a barn board. It's actually, I'm thinking about sanding it out now to kind of look more like the flooring, and just put that across here and maybe return it down the side, or maybe just paint it and leave it. But that's gonna stay. That'll be barn board, and that is a question mark. Over here, we've got a whole bunch of cabinets in place. We've got the upper, and you can see here how we spaced everything out. We got about three inches, I think, of space behind it, which gives it a little extra depth, and allows our refrigerator to be basically, it'll be flush to the front of the fridge will be flush to the front of this wall, which means that this little area will be basically the thickness of the door. It'll have a very custom feel. It's not like it's gonna stick out several inches or anything from the edge. We're not gonna see the side of the box, the ice box of the fridge or anything. There is gonna be a little filler strip. I think we have that somewhere. It just didn't get installed, so that's got to go on. And there'll be a strip across the top and a crown that'll be able to. We held this back a certain distance so that we could dive straight into that, and we wouldn't have some funny end on the crown. And that's kind of how the rest of this geometry played out. Nice kind of custom feel to it. We did have one mistake as we were installing. This got dropped, and so we've separated that just a little bit. It seems like the cabinet, got dinged in a couple of places as well. So that's gonna get replaced, just the door. And that should be expedited. As we were kind of going through this, we noticed, I think you can see a big crack that has formed straight down the middle of the kitchen here. That might have been from when they were hammering away at the floors up above, but we now have to get that fixed. That's why we did not continue the crown or do any of that stuff. We're gonna get that patched in, get some paper tape on it, make sure that that's not gonna come back. That's an unforeseen, unfortunate event. There's a couple of places that have actually cracked. Plaster can do that. They used the fiberglass tape everywhere, which, as it's turning out, is not an outstanding option. The paper is probably a little bit better. Anyway, these cabinets are all in. The bases went just fine, no problems there. Everything lined up. And these cabinets were pretty good. It's a little bit of a ding here. We're gonna have to clean up. I might just move that shelf somewhere where it's gonna be less apparent. And this all looked good. The doors don't exactly match up when they're closed. This one is a little low. You can see it a little bit on the bottom there. You can see it a lot on the top. So, this edge, this reveal can't change a whole lot. And this one's actually quite good. So I think the whole door needs to shift up a little bit, and it might just not be perfect. We'll have to play that one by ear. But this one has some other issues that we're gonna solve. So this issue is a bigger deal. that's just not, you can see it with my hand behind it. That's not close enough. You know, that's 3/32 there. That's a noticeable amount that it's off by. A little bit of grime there. It also has, you can't really see it on camera here, but I think the same thing was happening here, and they used a sander to sand it clean before they painted everything. But it's like, it's got this bow in it. So long story short, we don't want to rip the cabinet off the wall. It's already there. It's a pain in the butt to disassemble it. It's more expensive for them to ship a new one out. So what we're planning to do instead is going to be, we're going to put a light rail on here. We've got under cabinet lighting as it is. So the light rail is kind of a feature, I guess. But basically it's a little thing. It's got a rabbet, so it'll kind of like fit in here and cover up just about 1/8 of an inch along this edge all the way down. It'll allow us to straighten this out. And honestly, if we had to do a little sanding, belt sanding ourselves, it wouldn't matter, because then we do it on the edge and then cover it up. So that'll get put on here. It'll stick out just a little bit. It'll actually be just about flush to the face of the cabinet when it's all on. You can see here that there's some room to do that. Ooh, I didn't see that. I don't love that. What the hell is that? Camera. I'll probably never see it except for on this camera. But these are the little issues that we've had with just these cabinets, which is weird because they were the light ones. They're like, I don't know. I've inspected all the other ones, and just these last couple of cabinets that got hung just didn't come together. Anyway, we're gonna put the light rail on here. It'll return all the way in. It'll die into the wall clean. We're gonna have to chisel just a little bit of this away very cleanly, maybe even with a razor, to get that set in here. I do have some touch-up paint. If we absolutely need it, we will do that. And at that point, we will be able to finish this out. Now, that crown is not going to die in. It's going to be a little bit long. There's nothing we can do about it. It'll just have a funky kind of double return when it gets to the end there. But all in all, I'm nitpicking here. I realize, everyone, don't roll your eyes too hard at me. But I mean, you can see those doors don't line up. This is doing something funky. The door doesn't look square to the cabinet. So we just have to figure it out. The door's up top, so this door definitely has to come up. And then once it does, we'll evaluate the bottom and straighten that out with the rail. We're gonna do that same rail on this side as well. That'll help us do the kind of the same thing over here. We'll pick that up, straighten it out. And we have some holes in the wall. We had some minor modifications that we had to do. So they left the electrical a little low. It's supposed to come through the cabinet like that so that it can get mounted clean. That's gonna get just quickly patched and tiled over anyway, so no big deal. Same thing here, coming through the cabinet. And now this was just gonna be interfering. It was tight to this, and you can't put a plate on there. So when the electrician comes back, they're gonna tear that box out, put a secondary box in there. We'll patch that, and again, it gets tile hard up to this edge, so that all disappears. Last one right here. We had the vent up here in the cabinet, and that was gonna be ugly, no good. We have glass here, so I don't know how that got mixed up, but it needed always to be coming out the back of our range hood. So the vent is still in here. We tore it out and then rehung this board. That screw's just hanging on, and then we can pull this out and gain access to the slot right here where the duct is gonna go down. So instead of using the duct that faces up from the range hood, we're gonna use the duct that faces the wall and go straight down, out and down. And that'll be a little more direct path. It'll be a lot cleaner looking when we're looking through the glass up here. Yeah, I think it's good in all accounts. I'm glad that we made this change. Same thing here, that'll get screwed off after everything's in place. A little bit of patch, and actually this is all gonna get covered up with the range hood. It's only 6 or 8 inches deep, but that'll get covered up. And you'll never see any of that. Everything below gets tile, and that is our pot filler. It's a little off center, but the pot filler itself has like a kind of a long arm thing, so it is what it is. Yeah, I think all in all, it turned out pretty good. We got some cleanup to do on this wall, but the rest of the kitchen is fantastic. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's give a quick spin around. There are a few other trim details that got finished out this week, like aprons under the windows here. So now you can get the full effect of what these windows look like. This is, of course, the original old window. Same thing in here. All those aprons are in place. We're ready to, I hope, finish out the family room with the flooring, and then really start to get on the, the finishing touches here, and paint and done. You can see this. This is a funny little story. It has been getting chillier here. Our nights are below freezing mostly. And this tiny little, I don't even know how many watt this thing is. And it's not on. I only run it during the day and turn it off at night because I got to be able to sleep without worrying that the house is going to burn down. But this is keeping the house around 60 degrees when we walk in the morning, even when it's 25 outside. So we rigged it so that we can keep that closed and we have power and keep the doors closed, and it stays nice and warm in here. So all that insulation is paying off. They finished the trim around the door. Whoa. Finished the trim all around the door. That is ready for paint. The door is going to get a little extra attention after we've painted everything to make sure that we're in good shape for air sealing. Nothing new in here. Upstairs, second floor is really where all the new stuff has happened. So you notice we've got nosing on the edges here. They're prepping for the stairs. You can see it kind of layout. The railing is going to be going right along here. They've left enough room, so they're not going to interfere. You can see the post is going to get placed right in the corner of that stair. There'll be another post that gets placed up here. Yeah, just about here. So the rail will come up along this side and then return into the rail. And there'll be a railing all along here. And all those balusters are going into this board on the floor, all the way down to the rail there, and then the post will be, again, in here, so it'll return in. This one will go straight up to the post at the top and railing off and over. So they're kind of prepped to do that. They've got the nosing all the way across that as well. Flooring up here is done. That is the flooring that's supposed to go right here. And it's ready to go. They just didn't nail it down because they wanted this nosing in place first. Now that they've got it, we should be good to go. But you can see all of our trim is finally done. I don't think this room was trimmed out at all previously, maybe just the sills and the boxes. But all the face trim has been completed. I've also pulled all the tape around the windows because it's basically done. I'm going to be putting in handles on all these so that we won't have to race around looking for the handles. This room, I don't think trim-wise anything has happened. I think I showed everybody the medicine cabinet. That vanity's almost ready. Got extensions coming for those legs to pick it up to a reasonable height. Again, trim in here. This is Ollie's room. It's all done. the whole second floor and third floor trim throughout the house. Windows and doors are done officially. Check it off. Again, in here, looking good. Oh, I gotta peel some more tape. But come in and check this out. I don't know, I must have shown people the bathroom at this point, but yeah, it turned out really cool. Love that vanity. That top is coming in with the rest of the countertops, hopefully, maybe by the end of the week. So they'll set all the tops in. This is a really cool one. It's I guess it's a man-made product, but it looks like, I genuinely thought it was some kind of marble or something. It's got some like green, mossy green veining in it. It's super cool. I think it works really well for our setting out here, and kind of matches some of the green moss on the bark of the trees. But yeah, excited to get in here. Plumber, once the cabinet vanities and the cabinets downstairs, they all get the tops in, plumber's coming in, and the plumber can finally wrap things up. We'll do all of these, but that was kind of the last key, is to get that these all in place, ready for him. That's one more we're going to move over. Another little job for the electrician to retrofit. We're just going to take it, move it over half a step for that. It's supposed to be a switch on this side and a plug on that side, and we'll just shift it half a box or a full box even. And when we're back doing the other tile, we can, just patch in what we've made a mess of. We got plenty of that tile to repair with. That's about it. So basically, second floor, third floor is ready for paint, sanding and paint, and then floors. Can't do the floors until the electrical is done. Electrical continues to be a saga. Waiting on Eversource to get us a transformer. They're waiting on the bank and somebody else to sign some paperwork saying that they can process the easements and they can come in and install the transformer. And really the electricians just need to get out here. They just haven't been out. Hopefully we will see them by the end of the week, and they'll start putting some of these plates all in place. And yeah, fingers crossed for that. I am hopeful. So we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, hope everybody is well, and hope we can hang out in this kitchen sometime soon. All right, take care.